Have you ever gone through your spare change and wondered if you might be holding onto something valuable without even knowing it? Well, today might just be your lucky day, because in this video we're talking about a very special penny, the 1966 no mint mark Lincoln cent. At first glance, it might look like just another old coin. But for collectors and hobbyists, this penny can be a hidden treasure. Stay with me because I'm going to show you how to identify this coin, what makes it so unique, and how much it's really worth in today's market. If you enjoy learning about rare pennies, valuable coins, or coin collecting tips, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Historical background to understand why the 1966 no mint mark penny is special. We need to go back a little in time. The year was 1966, a time of change in the United States Mint. During the mid-1960s, there was a nationwide coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce coins quickly and in large numbers. To speed things up, from 1965 to 1967, the Mint decided to stop putting mint marks on coins altogether. That means no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, not even a P for Philadelphia. So when you see a 1966 penny with no mint mark, don't worry, that's exactly how it was made. All Lincoln pennies from 1966 were struck without a mint mark, regardless of where they were produced. That alone doesn't make the coin rare, but there are certain factors that do, and we'll talk about those next. How to identify a genuine 1966 no mint mark PNNY. So, how can you tell if your 1966 penny is the real deal? First, look at the front of the coin, also known as the obverse. You'll see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. Just below the date, 1966, you'll notice there is no letter indicating a mint mark. That's correct for this coin. On the back, or the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, which was featured on pennies from 1959 to 2008. To confirm your penny is authentic, here are the specifications. Weight: 3.11 grams diameter, 19 millimeters material, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Edge: plain, with no reading. A genuine 1966 penny should have these characteristics. You can use a small digital scale and a magnifying glass to check for authenticity at home. Key details and known errors. Now let's talk about what really gets collectors excited: errors and variations. Some 1966 pennies have die errors which occur during the minting process. These include double die obverse, where parts of the design, like the date or letters, appear slightly doubled off. Center strikes, where the image is not perfectly centered on the coin. Clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin is missing due to a minting mistake. These errors can significantly increase the value of the coin. A 1966 penny with a strong doubling or other visible mint error is far more collectible than a standard issue. Why the 1966 penny is rare or valuable? Now, here's the big question. Why would anyone pay more than 1 cent for this coin? The answer lies in condition, rarity of errors, and historical significance. While millions of these coins were made, very few have survived in perfect or uncirculated condition. And even fewer have minting errors. That's what makes certain versions of the 1966 penny highly valuable to collectors. Also, because there are no mint marks from 1966, some people mistakenly think these coins are rare. That confusion adds to their mystique and demand. Current market value in different conditions. Let's look at what your 1966 penny might be worth in today's coin market. Worn or heavily circulated. In average condition. A 1966 penny is typically worth 1 to 5 cents, not much above face value. Lightly circulated. If your penny still has some shine and detail, it may be worth 10 to 25 cents. Uncirculated condition. A penny that was never used, often stored right after minting, can fetch $1 to $5. Sometimes more. Certified and graded by a professional service, these coins can be valued at $10 to $50 depending on the grade. Rare error coins. If your 1966 penny has a doubling error, off-center strike, or clipped planchet, its value can rise dramatically, sometimes reaching $100 to $300 or more, depending on demand and condition. Real examples from auctions. Let's take a look at some real-world sales. In 2021, an uncirculated 1966 penny graded MS-65 by PCGS sold for $46 at auction. A rare double. Die-era coin from 1966 was auctioned for over $150 due to its strong doubling on the date and lettering. A 1966 penny with an off-center strike sold for $220, mainly because it was in great condition and visually striking. These aren't just stories, these are real coins sold to real collectors. If you have a coin like that in your drawer, you might be holding onto something much more valuable than pocket change. Conclusion: how you could get lucky. So, what's the takeaway here? If you have a 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it's worth taking a closer look. While most are common, a few rare ones with minting errors or uncirculated condition can be surprisingly valuable. You might not get rich overnight, but finding one of these coins could earn you a tidy sum, and remember, these pennies are still out there. You don't need to be a professional collector to find one. Just take a moment to check your pocket change, your piggy bank, or that old coffee can in the attic. Call TOACTION. If you found this video helpful and you enjoy learning about rare US coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips, please make sure to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video, and most importantly, check your change. That 1 cent could be worth a whole lot more. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Have you ever found an old penny in your change jar or tucked away in a drawer and wondered if it could be worth something? What if I told you that a simple 1 cent coin from 1968, without any mint mark, could be worth far more than its face value? Yes, you heard that right. One small penny might just be a hidden treasure. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny. If you're over 65 and grew up using these coins in everyday life, this video will take you on a nostalgic journey and maybe even help you uncover something valuable in your pocket change. Let's begin by looking at a little history. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first United States coin to feature the face of a real person. BY 1968. The penny had been in circulation for nearly 60 years. But something changed that year. Due to a major overhaul in how the United States Mint operated, the San Francisco Mint stopped producing coins for general circulation. This meant that coins from Philadelphia, where mint marks were usually left off, would become the standard for no mint mark coins. So, if you come across a 1968 penny without a mint mark, chances are it was minted in Philadelphia. But there's more to the story, especially if that penny has certain errors or features that make it stand out from the rest. Now, let's talk about how you can identify a genuine 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Start by looking at the front of the coin. You'll see Abraham Lincoln's profile facing right. Above his head, it should read, "In God we trust." To the left, the word liberty, and to the right, the date. 1968. A no mint mark penny means there is no small letter under the date. If you see a small D or S, it was minted in Denver or San Francisco. If there's nothing there, you likely have a coin from the Philadelphia Mint. Flip the coin over and examine the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. Make sure all the lettering is clear and the lines in the building are well defined. These details are important when determining a coin's condition and potential value. Here are the key details you should know. Weight: about 3.11 grams diameter. 19 millimeters material. 95% copper and 5% zinc design. Lincoln's portrait on the front, Lincoln Memorial on the back. Mint marks. No mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. There are also some rare errors to look for. These include double die errors, where the letters or numbers appear slightly doubled. Another error could be an off-center strike or even missing elements on the coin. These mistakes happen during the minting process and are highly sought after by collectors. So why is this penny potentially valuable? While millions were made, most of them were spent, lost, or damaged over time. A 1968 no mint mark penny in excellent condition, especially with an error, is hard to find today. Coin collectors love these types of coins because of their historical context and the possibility of minting mistakes. And because the penny is from a transition period in the U.S. Mint's operations, it adds a layer of interest for numismatists. Those are people who collect and study coins. Let's talk numbers. A worn and circulated 1968 no mint mark penny might still only be worth 1 or 2 cents. But as the condition improves, so does the value. Circulated condition. Typically worth between 2 to 10 cents. Uncirculated condition. between 50 cents and $2 certified coins. These are coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. In mint state condition, these can fetch between $10 and $75. Now, if your penny has an error like a double die or off-center strike, you could be looking at much more. Some of these have sold for over $100 at auction. A pristine 1968 no-mint mark penny with a rare error has sold for as high as $500, depending on the market and the buyer data. So what does this all mean for you? It means that something as simple as a penny, something you might not even think twice about, could turn out to be a valuable collectible, especially if it's from 1968 and lacks a mint mark. You don't have to be a professional collector to find treasure. Sometimes, all it takes is a closer look at the change in your pocket or that old coin jar sitting on your shelf. Finding one of these rare coins could be your lucky break. It might not make you rich overnight, but it could give you an exciting story to tell and a nice boost to your retirement fund. Before you go, take a few minutes to check your change. Look through your old coin jars, drawers, or even those forgotten piggy banks. Who knows what you might find? And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and other hidden treasures, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to discover the next big coin find. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Search terms to help you find this video again. 1968 no mint mark penny value rare Lincoln pennies valuable 1 cent coins coin collecting for seniors rare coin errors. How to identify rare coins Lincoln penny with no mint mark 1968 penny worth money valuable coins to look for in pocket change coin collecting tips for beginners. Hello and welcome to the channel. Let me ask you something. Have you ever glanced at a penny in your pocket and thought it might be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, you just might be holding a small treasure. Today, we're going to take a close look at the 1973 Lincoln penny, a coin that many people overlook, but one that collectors are searching for. If you're someone who enjoys history, collectibles, or maybe just the thrill of finding hidden value in everyday change, then this video is for you. Make sure to stay with me until the end because you'll learn how 1 penny could potentially turn into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency since 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The design we know today, featuring Lincoln's profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, was introduced in 1959 and continued until 2008. Now, the 1973 penny might seem like just another coin, but it was struck during a fascinating period in U.S. coinage. The early 1970s were a time of high inflation and economic changes. As a result, the U.S. Mint produced a large number of coins, but not all of them were made perfectly. That's where things get interesting for collectors. So, how do you know if you have a real 1973 Lincoln penny? Let's start with the basics. This coin features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, facing right, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, the date 1973 to the right of Lincoln's profile, and most importantly, a small D. Mint mark just below the date. The D stands for the Denver Mint, which is one of the 3 main mints in the United States. If your penny has this mark, it was produced in Denver. Genuine coins will also have smooth edges with no ridges, and the lettering and numbers should be clear and well-defined. If the coin is worn, that's okay. Many valuable coins show signs of use. What matters most is what kind of condition it's in and whether there are any unique features or errors. The 1973 Lincoln penny was made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs about 3.11 grams, which is standard for pennies minted before 1982. Be cautious of counterfeit coins. A real 1973 penny should weigh close to 3.11 grams. Be magnetic only if altered. A genuine copper penny is not magnetic. Have a strong strike with clear details. Unless it's heavily circulated. If your penny feels unusually light, has strange coloring, or sticks to a magnet, it might not be authentic. Now here's where things get exciting. Some 1973 Lincoln pennies have mint errors, and these are what makes certain coins extremely valuable. Here are a few key errors to watch for. Double die obverse, where the front of the coin, especially the date or the word Liberty, appears double. Off-center strike, where the coin wasn't properly centered during minting. Die cracks or cuds, these are raised lines or blobs where the minting die was damaged. Clipped planchets, where a part of the coin appears to be missing in a crescent shape. Collectors will pay a premium for these error coins, especially if they are in good condition. While the 1973 penny itself isn't rare in circulation, millions were made. What makes it valuable is the condition and the presence of errors. An uncirculated 1973D penny, meaning one that has never been used in everyday transactions, is more desirable to collectors. Even more desirable are those that have been certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Coins graded as MS65 or higher, meaning they're in near-perfect condition, can command much higher prices. Let's talk dollars. How much can your 1973D Lincoln penny actually be worth? Worn or circulated condition. Generally worth face value, about 1 cent, unless it has a mint error. Slightly better condition, maybe 10 to 50 cents. Sometimes more if it looks nice. Uncirculated condition, mint state 60 to 63, can be worth $1 to $5. Certified mint state 65 or above. These can sell for $25 to $100 or more depending on the coin market. Now, let's look at a few real-world examples. In 2022, a 1973D Lincoln penny graded MS67 by PCGS sold at auction $4.475. Another with a double die error in strong condition went for over $1,000. So while most of these coins are still common, a small number have extraordinary value. So what's the takeaway here? If you have a 1973D Lincoln penny sitting in a jar, or if you come across one in your change, don't ignore it. Take a moment to look it over. Check the date, the mint mark, the condition, and see if there are any unusual features. Who knows? You might just discover a valuable error coin. Even a penny with no visible damage could still be worth grading if it's in excellent condition, and if you're a fan of treasure hunts, there's no better place to start than your own coin jar. If you enjoyed learning about the 1973D Lincoln penny and other rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every week with helpful information that just might lead you to your next big discovery. Also, don't forget to check your change. The next time you reach into your pocket or count out coins from a drawer, take a closer look. 1 cent might just be your lucky ticket. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Have you ever wondered if that old penny in your change jar might be worth more than 1 cent? What if I told you that a simple 1981 penny with no mint mark could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? That's right. You might be holding onto a small piece of history that could turn into a big payday. So grab your coin collection or that jar of loose change and let's take a closer look at the 1981 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been part of American currency since 1909. When it was first introduced to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it quickly became a staple in our everyday currency. Fast forward to 1981. This was a transitional year for the penny. At that time, the U.S. Mint was still producing Lincoln cents using a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But inflation and rising metal costs were pushing the mint to consider a cheaper alternative. By 1982, the composition would shift to a copper-plated zinc coin. That makes the 1981 penny one of the last true copper Lincoln cents. But why is the 1981 penny with no mint mark special? And why are collectors so interested in this particular coin? First, let's talk about how to identify this coin. To find a 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny, flip the coin and look closely at the front or obverse side. You'll see President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Just below the date, if you see no mint mark, that means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1981, Philadelphia did not include a mint mark on its coins, which is different from Denver or San Francisco. So no mint mark is completely normal, but not all no mint mark pennies are valuable. The key is in the condition, errors, and rarity. Here are some details every coin collector should know. Weight. A genuine 1981 Lincoln cent made of copper should weigh approximately 3.11 grams. If your penny weighs closer to 2.5 grams, you may have a 1982 copper-plated zinc coin by mistake. Material, solid copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Diameter, 19 millimeters, mint marks. A 1981 coin with no mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia. Coins with a D are from Denver. San Francisco coins will have an S and are usually proof coins. Now let's talk about errors. Some 1981 pennies are worth a lot because of minting mistakes. Look for double die obverse, DDO. This means some of the lettering or the date appears doubled. Check Liberty and In God We Trust. Off-center strikes, where the design is not centered on the coin. Die cracks, these are small raised lines on the coin where the die has cracked. Wrong planchet errors. These are extremely rare and occur when a penny is accidentally struck on a blank meant for another coin. If you find any of these errors on a 1981 no mint mark penny, your coin might be worth much more than face value. So what makes this coin valuable? It's not rare in the sense of how many were made. In fact, hundreds of millions were produced. But high-grade examples that are uncirculated and have no wear, or those with errors, are very hard to find. Most 1981 pennies have been in circulation for over 40 years, passed through countless hands, and suffered nicks, scratches, and discoloration. But if you find one that is in near-perfect condition or one with a major mint error, collectors may pay a premium to own it. Let's talk money. Here's what a 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth today: circulated and worn condition, usually still worth only 1 cent. Lightly circulated or in better condition, might fetch between 5 and 25 cents. Uncirculated condition, mint state, graded MS60, MS65, these can be worth between 50 cents and $5 depending on eye appeal and grading. High-grade certified coins, MS67 or better, these can sell for $100 to $300 or more. Rare error coins, some 1981 error pennies have sold for over $1,000 at auctions. A double die example in pristine condition could go for even more. Real auction examples include a 1981 no mint mark penny graded MS67 read by PCGS sold $4.528. A similar coin with a double die obverse error went for over $1,200. These are real numbers and they show just how valuable this little coin can be. So what does this all mean for you? It means that checking your pocket change could literally pay off. That old jar of coins on your dresser or the spare change in your car might be hiding a small treasure. The 1981 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it's a piece of American history. And in the right condition, it could be your ticket to a lucky find. If you enjoy learning about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And most importantly, go check your coins today. You never know what might be sitting right in your pocket. Thank you for watching and happy collecting. Hello and welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to explore a fascinating piece of American history that could be sitting right in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar on your kitchen counter. I'm talking about the 1976 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but for collectors and enthusiasts, it could be a surprising treasure. Some of these pennies have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auction. So before you cash in your coins at the bank, you'll want to stick around for this. Who knows, you might have one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in circulation. Let's go back in time to the year 1976. It was America's bicentennial year, a celebration of 200 years of independence. The nation was filled with patriotic pride and special commemorative coins were being released to mark the occasion. While quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins received special bicentennial designs, the humble 1-cent penny kept its familiar face, the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front with the Lincoln Memorial on the back. This design, introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, remained unchanged in 1976. But something else makes the 1976 penny special: the absence of a mint mark on certain versions. And that's where the story begins. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if your penny is the rare and valuable 1976 no mint mark version? Start by flipping the coin over and taking a look at the date. 1976 should be clearly visible just beneath the image of Lincoln. Now look closely under the year. If you see a small letter, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, then your coin was minted at one of those locations. But if there's no letter at all, you may have a 1976 no mint mark penny, which means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. But here's the twist: while no mint mark doesn't automatically mean the coin is rare, certain features and conditions can make it incredibly valuable to collectors. Let's break down the basic features of the 1976 Lincoln penny. Weight: approximately 3.11 grams. Composition: 95% copper, 5% zinc. Diameter: 19 millimeters. Obverse: front portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Reverse: back, the Lincoln Memorial with the words 1 cent and United States of America. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins in 1976. So what sets the valuable ones apart? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and errors. Some of the most valuable 1976 pennies are those with mint errors. For example, off-center strikes, double dies, and planchet errors can significantly increase a coin's value. A double die is when the design appears to be doubled, especially noticeable in the lettering or the date. These mistakes happen during the minting process and are highly prized by collectors. Another rare feature is a coin that appears to be struck on the wrong metal. For instance, a penny struck on a dime planchet, resulting in a thinner and lighter coin. These are incredibly rare, but they do exist. Now let's talk numbers. How much is your 1976 no mint mark penny actually worth? A worn, circulated penny without any errors might only be worth 1 cent. Maybe a few cents to the right collector. A lightly circulated coin in good condition might bring in around 10 to 25 cents. An uncirculated 1976 no mint mark penny with a brilliant finish and no scratches or wear can sell for $1 to $5 or more. If the coin is certified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC and it's in mint state condition, it could be worth between $25 and $150. Coins with known errors, like a double die or off-center strike, have sold at auction for as much as $500 to over $1,000 depending on the severity of the error and the overall condition. Let's look at a few real-world examples. In 2022, a 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny graded MS67 red by PCGS sold at auction for $1,450. That's right, a single penny worth over $1,000 simply because it was in nearly perfect condition. Another example is a 1976 penny with a visible double die on the obverse, which sold for around $400 on an online auction platform. These coins may look like any other penny to the untrained eye, but collectors are willing to pay big bucks for these small details. So, what does this all mean for you? If you happen to come across a 1976 penny with no mint mark, don't toss it aside. Take a closer look. If it appears to be in excellent condition, or if you notice anything unusual about the design, it might be worth getting it appraised. You never know, that penny at the bottom of your old coin jar could be a hidden treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Finding one of these valuable pennies is a bit like winning the lottery. It doesn't happen every day, but with so many coins still in circulation, it's entirely possible that someone, maybe even you, could get lucky. If you enjoyed learning about the 1976 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and have you ever wondered if that old penny in your change jar might be worth more than 1 cent? What if I told you that a simple 1981 penny with no mint mark could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? That's right. You might be holding on to a small piece of history that could turn into a big payday. So grab your coin collection or that jar of loose change, and let's take a closer look at the 1981 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been part of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it quickly became a staple in our everyday currency. Fast forward to 1981. This was a transitional year for the penny. At that time, the U.S. Mint was still producing Lincoln cents using a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But inflation and rising metal costs were pushing the mint to consider a cheaper alternative. By 1982, the composition would shift to a copper-plated zinc coin. That makes the 1981 penny one of the last true copper Lincoln cents. But why is the 1981 penny with no mint mark special? And why are collectors so interested in this particular coin? First, let's talk about how to identify this coin. Find a 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Flip the coin and look closely at the front or obverse side. You'll see President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Just below the date, if you see no mint mark, that means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1981, Philadelphia did not include a mint mark on its coins, which is different from Denver or San Francisco. So no mint mark is completely normal, but not all no mint mark pennies are valuable. The key is in the condition, errors, and rarity. Here are some details every coin collector should know. Weight. A genuine 1981 Lincoln cent made of copper should weigh approximately 3.11 grams. If your penny weighs closer to 2.5 grams, you may have a 1982 copper-plated zinc coin by mistake. Material: solid copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Diameter: 19 millimeters. Mint marks: a 1981 coin with no mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia. Coins with a D are from Denver. San Francisco coins will have an S and are usually proof coins. Now let's talk about errors. Some 1981 pennies are worth a lot because of minting mistakes. Look for double die obverse. DDO. This means some of the lettering or the date appears doubled. Check, Liberty, and In God We Trust. Off-center strikes, where the design is not centered on the coin. Die cracks. These are small raised lines on the coin where the die has cracked. Wrong planchet errors. These are extremely rare and occur when a penny is accidentally struck on a blank meant for another coin. If you find any of these errors on a 1981 no mint mark penny, your coin might be worth much more than face value. So what makes this coin valuable? It's not rare in the sense of how many were made. In fact, hundreds of millions were produced. But high-grade examples that are uncirculated and have no wear, or those with errors, are very hard to find. Most 1981 pennies have been in circulation for over 40 years, passed through countless hands, and suffered nicks, scratches, and discoloration. But if you find one that is in near-perfect condition or one with a major mint error, collectors may pay a premium to own it. Let's talk money. Here's what a 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth today. Circulated and worn condition. Usually still worth only 1 cent. Lightly circulated or in better condition might fetch between 5 and 25 cents. Uncirculated condition, mint state, graded MS60, MS65. These can be worth between 50 cents and $5 depending on eye appeal and grading. High-grade certified coins, MS67 or better, these can sell for $100 to $300 or more. Rare error coins. Some 1981 error pennies have sold for over $1,000 at auctions. A double die example in pristine condition could go for even more. Real auction examples include a 1981 no mint mark penny graded MS67 red by PCGS sold $4.528. A similar coin with a double die obverse error went for over $1,200. These are real numbers, and they show just how valuable this little coin can be. So what does this all mean for you? It means that checking your pocket change could literally pay off. That old jar of coins on your dresser, or the spare change in your car, might be hiding a small treasure. The 1981 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It's a piece of American history. And in the right condition, it could be your ticket to a lucky find. If you enjoy learning about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And most importantly, go check your coins today. You never know what might be sitting right in your pocket. Thank you for watching, and happy collecting. Have you ever wondered if that penny in your change jar might be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Well, if you've ever come across a 1982 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, you just might be holding on to a small fortune. That's right, a single penny made in 1982 could be your lucky ticket. But only if you know what to look for. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's take a journey through the fascinating story of the 1982 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This is a video you won't want to miss, especially if you're one of the millions of Americans who enjoy collecting coins or are simply curious about what might be hiding in your pocket change. To understand why this penny is so special, we need to go back to 1982. It was a year of big changes for the humble 1-cent coin. Up until that point, pennies were made primarily of copper. Specifically, they were 95% copper and 5% zinc. But due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a decision that would change coin collecting forever. Midway through 1982, they began producing pennies with a new composition, 97.5% zinc with only a thin copper coating. This was a cost-saving measure, but it also led to a lot of confusion because both types, copper and zinc, were made in the same year and they look nearly identical to the naked EYE. To make things more complicated, the 1982 penny comes in 7 different varieties. Yes, 7, including large and small dates, copper and zinc versions, and with or without mint marks. Now let's talk about what makes the 1982 no mint mark penny special, and how you can identify a genuine one. First, check the date on the coin. It must say 1982. Next, look just below the date. If there's no letter, no D for Denver or S for San Francisco, then you might be in luck. That means it was minted in Philadelphia, which did not use mint marks on pennies at the time. But here's where it gets even more interesting. You'll need to determine the metal composition of the coin. Is it copper or zinc? Because a 1982 no-mint mark penny made from copper is far more desirable than the zinc version. Here's how you can tell. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. A zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. Use a digital scale if you have one. A copper penny is noticeably heavier. It's a small difference, but it's very important. Another way is the sound test. Copper pennies have a distinctive ring when dropped on a hard surface, whereas zinc pennies sound dull. It's not as precise, but it can give you a clue. So what exactly are we looking for? You want a 1982 penny that has no mint mark, weighs 3.11 grams, indicating it's copper, has either a large or small date. But the small date version is much rarer. What makes this coin valuable is the overlap between the old copper material and the newer minting process. Very few copper pennies were struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, and even fewer have been confirmed with the small date style. To date, only a handful of genuine 1982 small date copper pennies with no mint mark have been discovered, making them highly desirable among collectors. Now let's talk money. How much could your 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny be worth? If your coin is circulated, meaning it has some wear and tear, but it's a copper version with no mint mark, it could still sell for anywhere from $50 to $250, depending on the condition. An uncirculated example, one that was never used in everyday transactions, might bring $500 to $1,500. But here's where it gets exciting. A certified 1982 copper small date no mint mark penny once sold at auction for over $18,000. Yes, you heard that right, $18,000 for a single penny. And that's not an isolated case. Other verified examples have fetched similar amounts from eager collectors. These sales prove that this coin is not just a myth, it's real and it's out there. Now, you might be wondering, how can I find one of these valuable pennies? Start by checking your change jar. Look through old coin collections, especially ones from the early 1980s. Ask friends or family if they have old pennies they're willing to part with. And remember, it only takes one lucky find to turn a simple penny into a life-changing discovery. We're living in a time when rare coins are more popular than ever. With collectors paying top dollar and values continuing to rise, now is the perfect time to dig through your coins. So there you have it, the story of the 1982 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin born from a simple change in materials that became one of the most sought-after pieces in modern coin collecting. If you find one, you could be looking at a payday worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and even if you don't, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun. So take a moment today. Check your spare change. Look through those penny jars. Who knows, you just might strike gold in the form of a copper penny. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how to become a smarter collector, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We post new videos every week about the hidden treasures that could be right under your nose. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next penny be a rare one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have you ever wondered if the pennies jingling in your pocket could actually be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? What if I told you that one simple penny from 1995, minted in Denver, could be your hidden treasure? Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1995 Lincoln penny and why coin collectors across the country are on the hunt for it. Whether you're an experienced collector or just getting started, you might have this valuable coin sitting in a jar or drawer right now. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to tell if your 1995 penny is a rare gem worth a small fortune. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, created to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design has changed slightly, but Lincoln's portrait has remained on the front, making it one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. The 1995 penny comes from the Denver Mint and was part of a regular production year. At first glance, there's nothing too unusual about it. But over time, certain versions of this penny have become highly sought after because of their condition, mint errors, or specific characteristics that make them stand out from the millions that were produced. So how do you know if you have a genuine 1995 Lincoln penny? First, check the obverse or front side of the coin. You'll see Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Just under the date 1995, look for the small letter D. That's the mint mark, which tells you it was made in Denver. A genuine coin will have a sharp, clear image of Lincoln with well-defined details in his hair, collar, and jawline. Be wary of counterfeits or worn coins with unclear features. Always check that the text "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" are present and readable. Let's get into the technical details. Weight. A 1995 D penny weighs approximately 2.5 grams. Material. It is made primarily of zinc, coated with a thin layer of copper. This composition has been standard since 1982. Diameter. 19 millimeters. Edge. Smooth, not reeded. Now, most 1995 D pennies are worth only face value, just 1 cent. But that's not the whole story. Here's where things get exciting. What truly sets certain 1995 D Lincoln pennies apart is the presence of mint errors. These mistakes occurred during production and can include things like double die errors, where the image is stamped twice slightly off, causing a shadow-like effect on the lettering. Off-center strikes, where the coin design is not properly centered. Die cracks or cuts, where part of the coin has a raised, malformed area due to damage on the die, struck through grease, which causes parts of the design to be missing or faded, while the Philadelphia Mint produced more dramatic double die errors in 1995. Some Denver minted coins still show subtle and collectible varieties. Even without an error, a 1995 D penny in pristine condition can be valuable. Let's talk about what this coin is worth today. Worn or heavily circulated, typically only worth 1 cent, though a sharp eye should always be kept for errors. Lightly circulated. These may sell for a few cents up to $1, especially if they have a soft luster remaining. Uncirculated. A 1995 D penny that has never been used, often taken straight from a mint roll, can sell for anywhere between $5 and $20 depending on the quality. Certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, high-grade examples, especially in MS-67 condition or higher, can command prices between $50 and $200 or more, particularly if the coin has flawless surfaces and a bright red color. Let's look at a few real-world examples. In 2022, a certified MS-68 red 1995 D penny sold at auction $4.305. Another example, graded MS-67 plus red, sold for $180 on a well-known coin auction platform. Even circulated coins with clear die cracks or misalignments have fetched $15 to $30 simply because of the uniqueness of the error. These numbers are real and they show just how valuable a seemingly ordinary coin can become. So, can a 1995 D penny really change your fortune? Well, if you have one in excellent condition or with a rare error, it absolutely can. While not every coin will be a jackpot, the thrill of the hunt and the possibility of finding a valuable penny in your pocket make coin collecting a rewarding and exciting hobby. You don't have to be an expert to get started. All it takes is curiosity, a good magnifying glass, and a little time. Check your change, look through old jars, and ask family members if they have spare coins lying around. That lucky penny could be waiting for you right now. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more guides on rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out on new finds that could be sitting in your own home, and don't forget to leave a comment if you've ever found a rare penny or if you have a 1995 D Lincoln penny you want to know more about. I'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you check your change, you might just strike gold. Have you ever wondered if that ordinary penny in your pocket could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? What if I told you that a 2004 Lincoln penny with no mint mark might be one of those hidden treasures? Yes, that small copper coin you might have tossed in a jar or forgotten in a drawer could actually be a rare and valuable collectible. In this video, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 2004 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it has become a topic of interest for coin collectors and treasure hunters alike. So, sit back, relax, and let's take a slow and steady journey into the world of rare pennies, coin collecting, and hidden value. The Lincoln cent has a rich history dating all the way back to 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and Lincoln, known for his leadership during the Civil War, was a fitting choice. Fast forward to 2004. By then, the Lincoln penny had already become an American icon. The reverse side of the coin still featured the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design first introduced in 1959. But even in modern times, small changes or mistakes in the minting process could make a common penny extremely valuable to collectors. One such example is the 2004 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, let's talk about how you can identify a genuine 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny. First, flip the coin to the front or the obverse side. You should see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The date 2004 will be clearly stamped just below the words, "In God We Trust." Now, here's the key detail. Just under the year, you may notice that there is no mint mark at all. That means the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which often does not include a mint mark on its pennies. So if you see a 2004 penny without the letter D for Denver or S for San Francisco, then congratulations. You have a Philadelphia minted coin. Let's take a closer look at the physical details of this coin. Weight, approximately 2.5 grams diameter, 19 millimeters material, 97.5% zinc, coated with 2.5% copper edge, plain, smooth, with no ridges, obverse, portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. Reverse, Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasper. It's worth noting that by 2004, pennies were no longer made primarily of copper. Since 1982, most Lincoln cents have been made of zinc with a thin copper plating. However, errors can occur, and when they do, they often become valuable. So what makes the 2004 no mint mark penny special? While millions were produced, it's the errors and unusual variations that make some of these coins worth far more than face value. Some of the known errors and variations include double die obverse. This error occurs when the design is struck twice, slightly offset, creating a doubling effect, especially noticeable on the date or the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Off-center strikes. When the coin is not properly aligned during striking, part of the design is missing. Die cracks or die breaks. These are raised lines or bumps that appear due to wear and tear on the minting equipment. Wrong planchet errors. Occasionally, a penny is mistakenly struck on a different metal blank, such as a dime planchet. If you find a 2004 penny with one of these errors, you may be holding a small fortune. Let's talk numbers. A regular 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny in circulated condition is usually worth its face value, just 1 cent. But if the coin is in excellent condition, it could fetch more. In uncirculated condition, where there's little to no wear, the coin might sell for 25 cents to $1 to collectors just starting their hobby. However, if your penny features one of the mint errors we discussed, its value can increase dramatically. For example, a 2004 Lincoln penny with a strong double die obverse has sold for over $150 at auction. A 2004 penny struck off-center fetched more than $250 depending on how dramatic the misalignment was. Point 1 certified 2004 no mint mark penny graded MS 68, which stands for mint state, sold for over $700 because of its pristine condition and rarity. As always, the key factors that affect value are condition, rarity, and demand. If you believe you've found a valuable 2004 Lincoln penny, it's important to have it evaluated by a reputable coin grading service. Companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can officially grade and certify your coin, which can significantly increase its resale value, even if you're not planning to sell it. Knowing its value can give you peace of mind and maybe even a fun story to share with family and friends. Who would have thought that a simple penny from 2004 could be worth so much? For most people, it's just loose change. But for a lucky few, it's a hidden gem. Whether it's a rare error, an uncirculated version, or a coin struck on the wrong planchet, these pennies can be valuable collector's items. So don't just toss your change aside. Check your pennies. Look closely at the date, the condition, and most importantly, whether there's a mint mark. You never know. That little coin in your wallet or piggy bank might just help you pay off a bill, buy a nice dinner, or even start a new hobby. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more fascinating stories about rare pennies, valuable coins, and tips for coin collecting. We post regularly, bringing you information that could turn your pocket change into treasure. And don't forget, next time you get change at the grocery store, take a second look. Your next big find could be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Have you ever wondered if that old penny sitting in your change jar might be worth far more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that a 2006 Lincoln penny, yes, the one you may have seen countless times, could actually be valuable to collectors? Today, we're going to take a closer look at the 2006 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin and uncover the secrets that make this ordinary-looking penny something truly worth noticing. So, before you toss that change aside, stick around. You just might discover that you've been holding on to a little piece of treasure. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since 1909. originally introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the decades, it has become one of the most collected coins in the United States. Fast forward to 2006. This was a year just before the centennial redesign of the Lincoln penny in 2009. The 2006 Lincoln penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is part of the last group of coins that carried the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse before the changeover to the Lincoln Bicentennial series. While millions of these coins were made, some versions, especially with certain errors or in pristine condition, have captured the attention of serious collectors. So how can you tell if you have a genuine 2006 Lincoln penny? First, check the front or obverse of the coin. You'll see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right. Just below the year 2006, look for the letter D. This stands for the Denver Mint, where this particular coin was produced. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, which was used from 1959 through 2008. Look closely at the details. The pillars of the memorial should be clear and well-defined. A genuine coin will be made of copper-plated zinc, weighing approximately 2.5 grams. It should measure 19 millimeters in diameter. The 2006 Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. As mentioned, its weight is about 2.5 grams. Any significant deviation from this might indicate a counterfeit or an error coin struck on the wrong planchet, something collectors pay close attention to. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. The D is a key identifier. It tells us the coin came from the Denver Mint. While both Philadelphia and Denver struck pennies in 2006, certain rare errors are found more frequently in the Denver issues. And speaking of errors, this is where things get really interesting. Some 2006 D pennies have been found with die errors like double die obverse, where Lincoln's features appear slightly doubled, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies. These are mistakes that happen during the minting process, and when collectors find them in high-grade condition, they can be worth far more than face value. While the 2006 D penny is not rare in the traditional sense, over 4 billion were produced. Certain coins stand out because of their condition or unusual characteristics. Coins with mint errors, or those that have been professionally graded as MS67 or higher, meaning mint state and nearly flawless, are the ones collectors are hunting for. In addition, coins from original uncirculated rolls, or those that have never been touched by bare hands, often bring a premium. The shine, the sharpness of the details, and the lack of wear all contribute to a coin's overall value. So how much is a 2006 Lincoln penny worth today? If your coin is worn and has been in circulation for a while, it's likely only worth its face value. 1 cent, however, a coin in uncirculated condition, showing no signs of wear, can sell for anywhere from 50 cents to a few dollars. A coin that has been graded and certified by a professional service, such as PCGS or NGC, and received a high grade, like MS67, can be worth anywhere from $20 to over $100. Error coins can command even more. For example, a 2006 D penny with a major die break or strong double die error has been known to sell at auction for several $100s. One such coin, graded and authenticated, sold for $300 because of its rare off-center strike and near-perfect condition. Let's take a look at some real examples from recent sales. A 2006 D Lincoln penny graded MS67 red by PCGS sold for $105 at a heritage auction in 2023. Another coin with a double die obverse and certified error designation sold on eBay $4.275. Even more modest examples, such as coins graded MS65 red, have been sold for around $20 to $40, depending on the buyer and market conditions. These numbers might not make you a millionaire overnight, but imagine finding a handful of these coins in your old coin jar or while sorting through pocket change. The truth is, most of us handle coins every day without giving them a second glance. But as we've seen today, even a simple 2006 D Lincoln penny can hold surprising value, if you know what to look for. Whether it's a mint error, an uncirculated example, or a rare die variety, these little coins can become prized possessions for collectors. And who knows, you might get lucky and find one worth hundreds of dollars right in your own home. So here's what I want you to do next. Take a moment and check your change jars, your old drawers, maybe even those forgotten coin purses. Look closely at your pennies, especially those from 2006 with the D mint mark. And if you enjoy learning about rare pennies, coin collecting, and valuable coins that could be hiding in plain sight, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We share new videos every week to help you spot treasures you never knew you had. Thank you for watching, and happy hunting. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it might be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that a simple, everyday coin from 2007 could be hiding a small fortune? That's right, today we're talking about the 2007 Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be sitting quietly in your pocket change or tucked away in an old jar on your shelf. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how much it could be worth, and why this humble little penny could make your day. Let's begin with a bit of background. The 2007 Lincoln penny is part of a long-running series that began back in 1909 when the United States Mint introduced a brand new design to celebrate the 100th birthday of our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. This marked the very first time a real person and a former president appeared on a U.S. coin. The penny's design features Lincoln's profile on the front or obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the back or reverse. This particular version of the penny was used from 1959 all the way to 2008. Now, the year 2007 doesn't seem particularly special at first glance. But collectors know better, especially when you look closely at the D Mint mark, which stands for the Denver Mint where these coins were struck. So, how do you identify a genuine 2007 D Lincoln penny? First, flip the coin to the front side and look just below the year. If there's a small D under 2007, that means it was minted in Denver. The weight of the coin is about 2.5 grams and it's made of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper. This composition has been standard since 1982 when the mint switched from the heavier copper pennies to a more cost-effective zinc core, but what really gets collectors excited are the errors. That's right, some 2007 D pennies have what's known as die errors or striking errors. These happen when the coin isn't struck properly, leading to features like double images, off-center designs, or even missing elements. If you find a 2007 D penny with doubling on Lincoln's eye, mouth, or the letters Liberty, you could be holding something much more valuable than 1 cent. Now let's talk money. How much is this coin really worth? If your 2007 D penny is worn and heavily circulated, its value is likely just face value, 1 cent. But if it's in better condition, things start to get interesting. A lightly circulated 2007 D penny might sell for 10 to 25 cents to a collector looking to complete a set.an uncirculated coin. That's a penny that's never been used and still looks shiny and new, can go for $1 to $5 depending on its grade. But here's where it gets exciting. Certified coins, professionally graded by companies like PCGS or NGC, especially those with high grades like MS67 or higher, can bring in $20 to $50 or more. And those rare error coins we mentioned? Some of those have sold at auction for over $100, especially if the error is clear and dramatic. For example, in 2021, a 2007 D penny with a major off-center strike and strong eye appeal sold for $135 at a coin auction. So why is this coin valuable at all? Well, it comes down to two things: condition and rarity. While the 2007 D penny isn't rare by itself, finding one in pristine condition or with an unusual error is what makes it stand out. Collectors are always on the lookout for high-quality coins to add to their sets, and that demand can push prices higher. Now imagine this: you're sorting through your old change or maybe helping your grandkids with a piggy bank and you spot a shiny little penny. You flip it over and see that small D under the year 2007. You take a closer look and notice something a little off. Maybe it's off-center. Maybe the letters are a little blurry. Could this be one of those valuable coins? It just might be. So don't let that penny slip through your fingers. Take a moment to check your change. Look closely at the year, the mint mark, and the overall condition. You never know, you could have a small treasure hiding in plain sight. And if you enjoyed learning about the 2007 D Lincoln penny and want to hear more about rare pennies, coin collecting, and valuable coins to look for, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We've got plenty more videos coming that could help you discover hidden value in the coins you already have. Thank you for watching, and happy collecting. Keywords spoken naturally throughout. Rare pennies 2007 D Lincoln penny value valuable coins coin collecting for beginners mint mark errors Lincoln Memorial penny copper versus zinc pennies coin values by condition certified coin value how to identify rare coins.